Hello, everybody. This is Chris Ellis, the card guy,
With Collectible Chris, the Sun.
and we are here to talk about.
Our Week 5 results, as well as Players of the Week, our how we did with college, and of course our picks for the upcoming weekend, which includes a star-studded top 10 matchup, which I think we both will agree on the team, unless I am wrong. Uh, when it comes to Week 5, we had a lot of upsets, and Dad annihilated me. I actually had a lot of bad picks. Apparently, I was 5-9, first losing record of the season, and Dad walked away being 10-4. Bears beat the Commanders, which we were both pretty much surprised about the big point total, them being the Commanders 40-20. Jaguars barely beat the Bills 25-20. Saints, can I just say annihilated here? Saints annihilated the Patriots 34-0. The Colts beat the Titans 23-16. Steelers walked away against the Ravens 17-10 with very, very bad receivers, not even catching the ball for the Ravens. Lions beat the Panthers 42-24. Falcons beat the Texans in a very defensive game 21-19. Dolphins will beat the Giants 31-16 with a pick six, ending a drought where the Giants did not score in the first half. Bengals beat the Cardinals 34-20. Eagles beat the Rams 23-14. Jets beat the Broncos 31-21. Chiefs beat the Vikings 27-20. The Niners whipped that tail against the Cowboys 42-10. And the Raiders beat the Packers 17-13. So a lot of close games. I lost. It was close. It was within a touchdown at least. So I'm not that disappointed. Well, I am disappointed. I had a losing record. Our players of the week, we both agreed it was DJ Moore for the Chicago Bears. 8 receptions for 230 yards with 3 touchdowns. People can give a case to Brock Purdy with his performance, but 3 of the 4 touchdowns went to a tight end and the one with a fullback. Our rookie as well. Unfortunately, he got hurt, but he still had a great game. The list, Devon Achane, Miami Dolphins running back, 11 carries for 151 yards with 1 touchdown and a reception for 14 yards. Now, our defensive players are a little bit different. I'm going with Quincy Williams again for the second straight week for the New York Jets. 9 total tackles, 5 solo, 4 assisted with 2 sacks.
And I'm going with Fred Warner of the Niners. He had 8 total, 5 solo, 3 assisted, 1 interception, and 1 sack. So he had a great week. I mean, a lot of 49ers had a good game in that game, but defensively, we'll go with that.
I mean, could either give it to him or Burke. So, and Burke had the pick 6.
Yeah.
So, week 6, I was 4-3. Dad was 5-2. Ohio State beat Maryland 37-17. Sadly, Oklahoma beat Texas 34-30.
Good game.
It was a good game. And first, Oklahoma win in a minute where it was close. So,
yeah.
Florida State beat Virginia Tech 39-17. Georgia whipped that tail on Kentucky 51-13. Louisville
played a great game in that game.
Louisville beat Notre Dame 33-20. Michigan beat Minnesota 52-10. And USC barely beat Arizona 43-41. And like I said last week, Arizona plays, it's going to be a close game. And it was within 2. So
Arizona actually was winning that game for a little while.
Yeah, which was even more freaky. Mm-hmm. So, and we'll talk about the playoffs in a minute. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Only 2 teams on a bye this week. And Thursday night, it's going to be the Broncos versus Chiefs. Yeah, Chiefs. There's no question about it. All right, Ravens versus Titans.
Wow. Ravens played bad and Titans played pretty well, actually, last week.
Those receivers are going to be torched, though. I guarantee Harbaugh with this something to them.
I like how the Titans got DeAndre Hopkins involved, though.
Yeah, he had it.
So I think I'm gonna go with the Titans on that one.
You going with Titans? Ravens defense has gotten better, which I'm very happy about. Their run defense has actually done very well. I'm still going with the Ravens. I guarantee the wide receivers are going to be making some points to actually catch the ball during practice. So, yeah. Battle of the Alabama quarterbacks. Carolina Panthers versus Miami Dolphins.
I'm going Dolphins in this game.
I'm going Dolphins, too. I mean, come on now. Bryce Young has not proved anything, and that offensive line is just ridiculous. This is going to be an interesting game. Saints versus Texans.
That is. I mean, Texans are playing good. Stroud hasn't turned the ball over as a young quarterback yet. I just think I want to go with experience on this one. I think I'm going to go with the Saints. I think Carr's going to get a little bit more comfortable with that team. I mean, having Kamara back can only be a plus.
I agree with that. Stroud, like you said, has been doing minimal mistakes. Honestly, front running in the Rookie of the Year award. I'm gonna go with the Saints as well, just because of the experience factor. Do the Texans have a shot to win it? Absolutely. It's gonna be within a touchdown. It's gonna be a close game. I don't think it'll be a shootout. This next game, it's gonna be interesting too. Commanders versus Falcons.
Ooh. I really like how, even though they lost last week, the Commanders' quarterback still had a good game. I mean, he was still in the top 5. Falcons, I don't know. Ritter, that run game they have to rely on. I like the Commanders' defense. I think I'm going to choose the Commanders in this one. They got obliterated on Thursday Night Football with a lot of fanfare. Magic Johnson was there. A lot of fans were there for the game. They like their new ownership. I think I'm just going. I'm gonna give Sam Howell a benefit of that last week's game and go with this one.
I agree. Falcons' offense has not really been great, other than the run game. Their defense has been holding up. I'm really impressed with Falcons' defense. But the Commanders, I think, just have an overall better talent. And we'll see how
this one will probably be the next game is probably going to be game of the week for me. Depending if Richardson is back for the Colts or not.
I mean, Richardson did play last game though, so.
Oh, he did. That's right.
Yep. Colts versus Jaguars, and Jaguars have been hit and miss so far this season though.
Well, did the Colts beat them already this year? I can't remember or not.
Here we go. Brief intermission.
Doom 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 doom.
It was a week 1. Oh shoot! I gotta. Well, let me go.
Just press the team. You should be able to see the schedule from that.
Yeah, Colts. Or I can just click on the Colts, and you would think I can see the whole. There we go. They already played. Jaguars beat the Colts. Oh, no, that's preseason. No, it wasn't. Yeah, first game of the season, Jaguars beat Colts 31-21.
So this will be the rematch in Jaguars home.
Yeah, and they were originally in Indy in that game.
I think I'm gonna go with Jags in this one. I mean, I got the Jags winning the division, so I mean, kind of got.
I mean, Colts have a chance to win this game. Richardson's been well. Minshew has been doing well, filling in on what he needs to do. Jaguars have been on and off. That's what I'm kind of worried about, but I'm still going to go say Jags.
Next one's going to be a tough game, I think, to pick.
Seahawks versus Bengals.
I'm going with the Bengals, but, I mean, Seahawks could easily beat them.
It depends if Burrow shows up or not.
Yeah.
And that's what said. Bengals won last week, so yay. But, well, the last time they played. But I'm going to say Seahawks. I just think Geno and that whole team overall is just pedal to the metal right now. Minnesota Vikings versus Chicago Bears.
Well, the Vikings might not have Jefferson. Probably don't have Jefferson, actually. I'm going Chicago. I just think it's just...
Yeah, if Jefferson's not playing, Cousins is in trouble. I mean, he's gonna still have a good game statistically, but I just don't think I see him winning. I choose Bears too. 49ers versus Browns.
I think this is actually going to be a good game, somewhat. I think I'm going with the Niners, but I think it's going to be closer than what a lot of people think.
Everyone forgets Niners and Browns are always a tough matchup for the Niners. They barely win, but at the same time, the Niners just have so much freaking momentum. It's not even funny. I'm going with Niners as well to remain undefeated. This next game is going to be tough to pick. Patriots versus Raiders.
I'm going Raiders.
You're going Raiders.
Just because the Pats are just playing terrible.
They are, and Belichick is going to be losing his mind just like how Nick Saban does when he loses a game.
I agree with that.
So, I don't know. I really cannot choose this one. I really want to say Jimmy G and the Raiders, but at the same time, after the horrible loss last week, it's just like the Giants being shut out against the Cowboys, and then they come back to win. So, I don't know why I'm saying this. I'm going to say Patriots. This is my game of the week.
Yeah, it's a good game to pick.
Lions versus Buccaneers in Tampa Bay.
I'm going to go Bucks, even though I think the Lions could win this game, and they probably should on paper. But I just like how Baker's playing with the Bucks. I mean, everybody's like, well, this is a resurgence of Baker and all this. No, Baker's playing like Baker Mayfield does.
Yeah.
And
I mean, he's making less mistakes, though.
Well, you got to think about he was hurt that one season where he made a lot of mistakes because he couldn't get his shoulder past this, his arm past his shoulder on throws and playing hurt. But I'm gonna go with Bucks here. I think I like the Bucks offense. I also like the defense. They got a lot of veterans with some good rookies. So I mean,
I agree. I'm saying Lions are within a field goal though, because I just think
got a good team. I mean, they could easily go to the Lions.
Yeah, I mean, you're right with the Bucks though, and it's tough. I mean, you're going because of Baker. You're a Baker guy.
Well, I'm also going. I mean, you got Evans, you got Goodwin, you got. I mean, you got some guys that can play, on offense.
And Lions
and Auden needs to get a little bit more into the passing game. He's been getting into it, but
I think not as much as he should be.
Yeah, I think he's one of those unsung heroes there. So
fair enough. This next game is going to be a little interesting just because it's divisional. Arizona Cardinals versus Rams.
I'm going Rams. I just having Cooper Kupp back makes them a better team. I don't think they're better than the Seahawks or the 49ers, but I think it makes them a better team.
I agree. Rams as well. I mean, no disrespect to the Cardinals. They're doing well, especially with Dobbs being the way he is and doing what he's doing. But the Rams just have a better defense. Eagles versus Jets. I'm
going with the Eagles in this one, even though I think I don't know what you're going to get out of the offense every week. You know that the defense is going to be tough, but I'm going to go Eagles.
I'm going with the Jets. If there's going to be a team that loses to a team, it's going to be for undefeated. It's going to be a team that they at least expect to lose to. I'm saying Jets on that. I just think the Eagles have been just flipping on and off, like they have a hot start and then they just slow down and they really don't finish the game, in my opinion. So if Jets surprise us week 1, they're going to surprise us week 6, just being the Eagles.
Upset special there, I think.
Giants versus Bills.
I'm going Bills. It's in Buffalo, so I'm going Bills.
I'm going with Bills as well. It's just that the Bills are just too much of a team. Giants, they just got a whole bunch of issues they have not sorted out. Monday night game. Dallas Cowboys versus Chargers in Chargers territory.
I don't think the Cowboys can play as bad as they did last Sunday night. I'm going to pick Dallas in this game just because I think the defense is going to be better than the Chargers offense.
Well, Parsons will be back, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Because he got injured.
I believe Parsons will be playing.
Okay. Cowboys are 0-2 against West Coast teams. Because of that logic, and just because of how Prescott is not good in being the West Coast for some reason, I'm picking Chargers. Chargers have been doing fine offensively, defensively. They haven't. Prescott will do better and will score. It's just that the Chargers and Herbert, they're getting their confidence back. So I'm I'm choosing the upset on that one because I don't think no one else has got to pick freaking Chargers being Cowboys other than Chargers fans. All right, Week 7 college football with a popular top 10 matchup.
Yep.
But first off, Syracuse versus number 4 Florida State. Syracuse, being mindful, is 4-2, but they didn't do anything against UNC.
No, Syracuse. I mean, Syracuse. It's cool seeing Syracuse have a good season. They always have that one star every so many years. Marvin Harrison, Donovan McNabb. Those type of players. But I'm gonna go Florida State here. I like Florida State's the way that it's. I mean, they're having a good year. They're having too many games where they're having to come back on, which and be close.
Yeah,
That's going to hurt them in the long run, I think. But I'm going to go with Florida State.
and like you said, they've been close. And honestly, the only time I see them losing is gonna be in the ACC championship. So I'm going with Florida State as well. Number 1 Georgia versus Vanderbilt.
Oh, Georgia.
Yeah,
That should be a blowout.
yeah, no disrespect to Vanderbilt. Y'all are not a football school. Y'all are a baseball school. Great baseball school, but football just needs to get better. Number 3 Ohio State versus Purdue.
You want Ohio State.
With Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yep.
on the helm. Indiana versus number 2 Michigan.
I'm going Michigan. If this was a basketball game, it'd probably be better, but probably not.
That was funny. All right. Potentially game of the week, but it's not my pick for game of the week because I got a personal one for that one. But number 8 Oregon versus number 7 Washington.
I probably could put this as the game of the week because I don't think my usual game of the week this week would be the game of the week. This might decide the Heisman Trophy.
Agreed.
Because both quarterbacks are playing out of their freaking minds. It's at Washington, I believe. So I'm going to pick the Huskies to beat Oregon.
Okay. I mean, it's not an upset.
No, it's neither way.
Yeah.
Either team beats each other. It's not an upset to me.
Yeah.
Because they're 8 and 7 playing each other. So
To me, it's really coming down to who has better defense. I mean, quarterbacks, like you said, are playing out of their minds. Washington, to me, has a stronger defense, a stronger hold. Oregon has a good linebacker and a good free safety, but you need more than that for defense. Washington's quarterback throws past that free safety. Their strong safety, I mean, they win it. So I'm going with Washington, but I'm going to say within the safety.
that's going to be a good game.
Oh, yeah.
That's one game I definitely want to watch.
UMass versus number 6 Penn State.
Penn State.
Yeah, Penn State.
This coming game would be usually my game of the week, but the way
Notre Dame has played the last 2 weeks. Yeah.
they've had 3, this is their 4th ranked game in a row
Yeah.
versus a ranked opponent. And
They have the toughest schedule this year.
I don't know how many ranked opponents they've already played. I think they're in their out of their minds in ranked opponents right now. They're probably scratching their head.
Yeah. Number 10 USC versus number 21 Notre Dame.
I'm going to pick Notre Dame to beat USC, but I doubt it will happen. So,
All right, this is going to be our only disagreement. I'm going to say USC.
Yeah.
Just because Caleb Williams is just
yeah.
out of his mind. And my pick of the week for games is going to decide a totality in the ACC championship, as well as I think one team needs to kind of move on over a really bad coaching call. Would you agree on that?
God, I was watching that game.
And you saw the whole thing. And with that, I'm pretty sure you didn't mind Georgia Tech win because
I had no problem. I have no problem with Tech beating Miami. How Tech beat Miami though was probably like the ESPN announcer, or I think it was ESPN announcers, were on that game and saying it was the worst college coaching ever.
Yeah.
I mean, they would pretty much let the Miami coach have it.
But number 25 Miami versus number 12 UNC. UNC has been playing great ball this whole season. This is gonna be a true test for them. Actually second ranked opponent, and they will also have Duke in a few weeks.
I think Drake May is just gonna play out of his mind though. I really do.
It's not May that I think is gonna have the best game. I think it's gotta be Brooks.
That's possible too.
And Brooks has been running the ball very well.
Well, they did. UNC did get its number one receiver back last week from suspension. So I mean,
and that also helps me. So yeah, I think it's going to be a monstrous of a game. So
yep.
All right, so that's going to be our picks and our predictions for the week. So let's talk about the playoffs.
Yes.
So unfortunately, Marlins could not advance. The Phillies beat them. Diamondbacks swept the Brewers, and they're right now 2-0 against the Dodgers. Possibly we'll sweep them tonight. Braves and Phillies are 1-1. The Rangers swept the Orioles, which I think no one expected, but at the same time, Rangers have so much dang talent that you really cannot say it was unexpected. And Astros are above the Twins right now, 2-1. That series can still go either way. Twins win tonight, it'll be fine. But if Houston advances, it's going to be a great time in the whole state of Texas, where there is going to be a Texas-sized ALCS. So I think that's going to be great for all Rangers and Astros fans. But in the whole state, there's going to be a civil war.
Very possible.
It's not going to be Remember the Alamo. It's going to be Remember Arlington. Okay. But biggest surprise, in my opinion, is Diamondbacks actually sweeping the Dodgers, with it being a divisional.
If that happens, yeah.
Yeah, and the fact that they're playing great, like Gurriel is doing well, Walker is outstanding. Carroll actually being conservative, like he was more worried about production, but he's more worried about just keeping everything in and trying to keep out emotions. I mean, it just proves that how much of a class player he is just because of that. So to me, that's the biggest surprise. I mean, or is the Orioles who had the most wins being swept?
No, I think the Rangers are a good team. I mean, the Orioles are young, first playoff series in a while. They won the East, which is a tough division to win. So I mean, they were battling with the Tampa Bay all season. So, I mean, they're a young team. I mean, the Rangers are hot, obviously. So, usually in the playoffs, the hot team gets rolling, and it's just like the Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks haven't lost a game yet, So, I mean, I think Rangers, a good team beating another. I mean, when the playoff starts, everybody's record is 0-0. So, anybody can beat anybody, especially in the wild card format, because I'd rather be playing in the wild card round than winning the division because I'm playing.
Yeah.
And I'm playing almost every day, and these teams have had breaks. You don't want to. If you're hot, you don't want to break. If you've been winning, you don't want to break.
Me and my manager at the sports shop talked about this, and he says that the wild card round needs to just be one game. That way, there's not a team that has a long of a break. Like the Braves took basically a week off.
Yeah, I mean
they lost horribly in game one.
I don't know if it's necessary you need a break or if you need to add two other teams. That way, no one has a day off and just have best 3 out of 5.
Okay, fair.
That
way, players can actually see the ball.
So I have 8 teams in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Know what I mean?
I can see that. I mean, I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind that expansion.
But I would also like to see in baseball too, where if you're the number one team, you're playing the worst rated. If you play the worst team available, which wouldn't have been the Phillies for the Braves, it would have been the Diamondbacks. So I would like them to go to. I would like to see them do that in scheduling, and not do it like you can still do the bracket, but the best team should still play the worst team no matter what.
Okay, not the worst team, but the low seeded.
Yeah.
The
highest seed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he also talked about that, and I agreed with that too, because I mean the AL side was fine. The AL side was actually correct, where the NL side wasn't. So were they really just trying to do interdivisional play and just think about the money?
No, it's possible too. I mean, you know how baseball is.
Yeah, exactly. So. But Which team will be the most shocked to you making to the World Series right now? To me, it'll be the Twins, honestly.
Oh, shocker.
Yeah,
Uh,
because
I mean, they're the highest seed left, right, as of right now, right?
in the AL,
Yeah.
uh, no, they're actually ranked lower than the rank. No, because it's Astros and Twins. So no, Rangers are the lower seed. The lowest
I
seed
think
is the Diamondbacks.
I honestly think the Diamondbacks, if they made it to the World Series, would be the biggest shock, just because of how they were up and down somewhat. I mean, the Twins. I mean, the Central was bad. I mean, both Centrals were really bad. So, um,
I mean, shoot, all three wild cards were taken by the East.
yeah,
I mean, okay, three. Sorry, all six. Well, hold up. One, two. Diamondbacks got the other one. So really two on that side, but three teams from the East teams took a spot. That's what I meant.
yeah.
But yeah,
All right. You ready to go with? You want to go with awards first, and then we'll go down with.
the NL East teams.
Yeah.
Sure. All right. So we did our predictions at the beginning of the year about who was going to win awards as well as who was going to get their predictions. And I was way off. But oh yeah, well, except for my NL rookie.
Yeah. I think you were right on your NL rookie the whole year.
Yeah, shoot. Even before the freaking season started, I was right.
Yeah. How about that preseason?
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So what are we doing first?
uh,
MVP for which league first?
You want to do NL to NL?
That's fine.
Or how do you have it? You got AL first?
It don't matter. We can do it either way. I got it.
Okay, and top three, right?
Yeah, I got it.
At third, I got Mookie Betts. He's of course the most talked about player that should be MVP winning almost every year. He always has great statistics, but it's just that everyone just seems to beat him, and he always has a good WAR, and that's what mainly what people talk about. But honestly, I really cannot agree with it. Number two, I got Matt Olson. He has the most home runs out of anybody. He has great statistics when it comes to production. It's just the batting average just kills him a little bit. And at number one, I got the man that made the club by himself, the man that has broke records, and the man that should deserve to be the MVP out of so many times in the near future, and Mr. Ronald Acuna Jr. I mean, what can you say? 73 steals, so many home runs, so many RBIs, 100 plus RBIs, and like you cannot say anything bad about Ronald and the season he had. I mean, also doing it from leadoff. I mean, come on, best leadoff hitter since Ricky Henderson. So you really cannot say, and honestly, I think it's a fair comparison to say between Ronald and Ricky. So just Acuna deserves it more than anybody. Look at the batting average compared to everyone else, he's second. Look at RBIs, he has over 100, he's still top 10. Look at stolen bases, he's first. I mean, it's called MVP, most valuable player, and Acuna is the most valuable player in the NL.
Yeah, my 2 and 3 are swapped from you. I got Olsen at third. I mean, it broke the Braves RBI and home run record for a season. Number 2, I got Betts. You could easily put Freeman there, but Betts. I mean, they put him at so many different positions to put him in the lineup. But I don't see anybody beating Acuna. Acuna is easily number one. He's a number one in so many categories and in top 10 in so many categories in baseball. You can't. I mean, Acuna's the MVP.
Great. AL number 3, I got Corey Seager. I mean, just an outstanding year. Really can't say anything bad about his production. Very great defensive glove as well. If anything, he'll definitely get a Gold Glove in his position. Number 2, I got Yordan Alvarez. I mean, always has a good production stats every single year, but he always loses the MVP. He should win MVP in the near future. I just don't see him now because, unfortunately, I have to go with the guy that still does well both sides of the dang ball. Is Shohei Ohtani. I mean, the guy had a lot of home runs, outstanding RBIs. Has always had a above 300 average as well. Good ERA, a good wins and losses, even when he gets hurt. And I mean, if Trout didn't get hurt, people would say Trout. If Shohei didn't get hurt, he probably would have broken Aaron Judge's record, honestly. So I hate to be with the flow and be on the train, but I have to go with Shohei.
Number 3, I got Corey Seager. Just every time he was on the field, he produced. Number 2, I'm going with Shohei Ohtani. Didn't play the whole year, but what he did with the DHing and pitching for the time he did play, he would have easily, if he wouldn't have gotten hurt, I think I'd have him over the next guy. But the next guy played all 162 games. Started off really, really slow. And I'm going to give it to Marcus Semien of the Rangers. I think if you look at his statistics, up and down, he's in top 10 in a lot. When the Rangers needed somebody, he was there for the whole year. So I'm going with Semien as my MVP. Though he probably will not win it.
Yeah.
But
but if anyone deserves it, I do agree. Rookie?
We can do Rookie of the Year.
Or do you have Cy Young next?
We can do Rookie of the Year
Okay.
if it's your next one.
Okay. NL. Number 3, I got Ellie De La Cruz. Just started off so hot. Did so well. He really needed to take his time. He's basically doing what Michael Harris did at the end of his rookie season and just kept on swinging and missing. Number 2, I got Justin Steele. Just a great, outstanding hand for the Cubs pitching rotation. Very strong. It had a great command, great win-loss record, on a good ERA. And, of course, number 1, my boy Corbin Carroll. Since preseason, I said Corbin Carroll has potentially to win NL Rookie of the Year. Great stats, decent batting average, one of the fastest guys in the whole major leagues. And, I mean, all-star. Won't get a Silver Slugger, but he has potential to get a Gold Glove. Got hurt twice and came back within a week or two. So the way he played, outstanding.
Okay, you just did the American League or National League?
National League.
National League. Okay, I got Nolan Jones from Colorado as number 3. Done very well. Very good player. You got some good players in there. Can't wait until Zach Veen makes it. Number 2, I got Steele, starting pitcher from the Cubs. Great year for Chicago. Very good left-hander. And then number 1, I got to go with Corbin Carroll. He just took he's only the second player to do the steals and home runs like Mike Trout. So if that's a good comparison, I'm going to go with Corbin there for the National League Rookie of the Year.
Agreed. All right, AL rookies?
Yeah. I think we pretty much agree on these.
You got Jung, Rushman, and Henderson?
Yep.
Oh, wow. Okay. Josh Jung, I mean, what can you say about him? A great defender. Started off very high, and then he kind of slowed down right before the All-Star break. But when he needed to hit for productions, he did well. He had 2 walk-offs this year. Very strong when it comes to the play. Very good plate discipline. Really didn't strike out that much compared to other rookies. Anything to add on that?
No. Jung had a good year. I probably would have put him at 2 over the next guy, but the next guy was still Rookie of the Year eligible.
Yeah.
Unbelievably.
Yeah.
So
he missed about 5 plate appearances.
Yeah. So.
But number 2, Adley Rushman. A great freaking ball player. Very good when it comes to being in the locker room with the boys. A great young leader when it comes to being with his pitchers, especially with the bullpen. Really did a great discipline when it came to it. Strikeout to walk rate is a little uneven, so I'm pretty sure he'll fix that during the offseason. And I mean, I think he had one of the best performances at the home run derby when he switched plates, which I think it will still be a memorable thing to do. So, Rushman number 2 really can't say nothing bad about how he played.
He's a young kid that acts like a veteran behind the plate
Yeah.
for his pitching staff. Pitchers love pitching to him. The man's just awesome. So, yeah. I mean, the next guy just,
His own teammate.
yeah.
I mean, Gunner, a great defensive player, potentially can get a Gold Glove, even get a Silver Slugger in his position. The only thing about him is that he strikes out more than he should. A lot of pitchers attack him because they know he will hit when it comes to hit, and he hits for contact. He doesn't hit for power. When he hits for contact, he just hits bombs. So, like, the fact that him and then possibly Jackson Holiday coming up next year, that whole infield is going to be monstrous, but it's going to have Gunner as the ringleader in that whole infield.
Yeah, and then playing Gunner at third later on in the year is leading Jackson Holiday to play short,
Yeah.
which is another good young player for the Orioles. So that's really nice. So we ready for Cy Young?
Cy Young, yep. NL?
Yeah, we'll go with NL.
NL, at 3, I got Blake Snell. Great comeback here. Can't say nothing bad about how well he's done. Actually showed that he still got it from his years in Tampa Bay. Great freaking command this year. Great control. He actually got his velocity back. His fastball was nasty. Number 2, I got Spencer Strider. Only thing bad about him is his 3-point ERA. Other than that, most strikeouts since John Smoltz in the season. Really did well on the play when he needed to. He just needs to work on his control when he needs to, and he also needs to gain his confidence when it matters. And I'm saying that because of the first game against the Phillies. It was a little rough. And number 1, I got the rookie, Justin Steele. He just had the best ERA out of anybody. He was over 200 strikeouts. He had so much command. He didn't have a shutout. I wish he did. He was closing in one. But he did so well for a rookie that it's just, you cannot miss it for what he did for the Chicago club.
I got your 3 and your 1 flipped. So I got Steele at 3, the rookie from Chicago. Great left-handed pitcher. Looks like he's going to be one of those great lefties for the next couple of years. I think number 2, what hurts Strider is his earned run average for the Cy Young. I could have easily gave it to him because he leads the league in strikeouts and some other good categories. The number 1 guy I got Snell. The only thing about Snell, which could easily lose him the Cy Young, is he leads the league in walks. And I don't think any Cy Young winner has ever led the league in walks.
No one has, and I actually looked at that. But the fact that Snell led the league in walks, he was still 3rd in ERA.
Yeah, exactly.
So
that means he's getting ground balls or he's striking out people. So
when it matters.
Yep. So I got Snell winning the Cy Young. So I think the AL Cy Young is going to be interesting.
And actually, 2 of my guys still made my list. Shane McCallum, if he didn't get hurt, he would have been all right.
Oh yeah.
3, I got Shohei. I mean, still a commanding presence at the dang plate. I already said what I needed to say during his MVP, so I'll skip that. Number 2, Louis Castillo of Seattle. Just a great overall year for him. Always been the most consistent pitcher in Seattle for the past couple of years. Great command, and really it didn't lose so many games by a big margin. It was always by a small one. And at number 1, I got Garrett Cole. Garrett Cole does not lead much in statistics when it comes to pitchers, but he does have good strikeouts, good ERA.
He's the top 10 categories on a lot of things. So.
Yeah, exactly. And he's the only Yankee I got winning an award this year. So he just had a great year. He should be a 3-time Cy Young winner right now. He only has 1. So
yeah, I agree with the Cy Young winner. Cole's had a great year. I went number 3. I went Bassett from Toronto.
Ooh, okay, yeah.
So he had a great year for the Blue Jays. Excellent year. Shane McClanahan probably would have been more in this list if he wouldn't have got hurt. And then I went Eflin from Tampa.
Yeah.
Yeah, Flynn had a great year too. So, I mean, you can't really go. I mean, our list is a little bit different in the Cy Young, but you can't really go. I mean, the sure one I think is Cole. I mean, everybody else falls where you could roll dice and pretty much put them wherever you wanted to.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll go. So what are you gonna do with?
You want to do coach next?
Yeah, we do manager. Yeah, coach,
Okay.
manager of the year.
And actually, all three of my guys came back from my list, just in different orders. Number 3, I got Skip Schumacher for Miami. Just a great year for again to the wild card. Just really can't complain how he did it. Yeah, he lost quite a few games being shut out, but at the same time, when his players needed to play, they played. So great control in that. Number 2, I got Brian Snicker. I mean, if he keeps on winning manager of the year, I mean, you see it. He's done so much for that ball club. It's not even funny. And especially on so much talent on that dang team, and actually getting help with the contracts, can't say nothing bad about it. And at number 1, I got Torey Lovullo, the manager for Arizona. I mean, look at them right now, potentially about to sweep the Dodgers.
Me and you have the 1 and 3 the same. The only thing I put instead of Snicker, I put Council from Milwaukee.
Okay, I can't disagree with that.
Yeah, I didn't put Snicker in there because I thought Luvo from obviously from the Diamondbacks, who thought the Diamondbacks, honestly, I mean, some people had faith in them, but Luvo did a great year. I mean, you can't. And then Schumacher for Miami, who thought Miami would be the third team from the National League East to make the wild card. So,
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, that's I mean, no, you probably could put Snicker. I mean, Snicker could easily be 2 or 4 or wherever on that list. He's going to be in the top 5 in voting.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
every time.
yeah. So, your American League.
2 guys still in my list, but number 1 remained number 1. So number 3, I got Brendan Hyde for Baltimore. Just the way he had a young team and just took them to a dang playoff. And I did say last year, watch Baltimore make it to the playoffs within 3 years, and they did it in 1. So enough with that. Number 2, I got Rocco Baldelli with Minnesota. He just did an outstanding job with the Twins ball club, being the major leader in that division. And number 1, I got Bruce Bochy for the Rangers. I mean, I hated Bruce being a Giant. I'm glad he's with the Rangers. He did outstanding with that team. They did not win the division, but you know what? They did come out and they swept the number 1 team in the American League. So there's nothing you can say bad against Bruce and how he has already won 3 World Series with the Giants and will potentially win a World Series this year with the Rangers.
Wow, we got a couple. I mean, my year 1 is my 2, and my year 3 is my 1.
Oh, okay.
So I got Cashman. I got Cash from Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Number 3. 2, I got Bochy, who easily could be number 1 because he does so much with less. Even though he's got a superstar team in Texas, I think he has more superstars on the Texas roster actually than he did with San Francisco. Even though he had Buster Posey was probably his biggest star during his tenure there. But, I mean, he's got Seager, Simeon, Garcia, Scherzer, who didn't pitch that much. DeGrom, who was a little hurt. But with all the injuries and everything, he still has the Rangers playing. And he does the most with less as any manager I've seen in baseball. However, I'm going to give it to Hyde from Baltimore due to the fact who thought the Orioles would be the first place team in the American League East other than making a playoff run. This year I had the Rays as the number 1 team and then the Orioles number 3 just missing the playoffs, even though I thought they would have a winning record. So I give it to Hyde. If Bochy wins it, I mean, I won't complain.
Yeah,
because he obviously deserves it.
I mean, all 3 really really all 4 really deserve it.
Yeah,
especially Cash Dillon with the Franco situation, and he was really professional about it. So.
Yeah. So we got our comeback players of the year, right?
Yep. And number 3 is going to be a name that most people won't know, and I got Mitch Keller, a Pittsburgh right-handed pitcher. He last year he was 5-12 with a 5.3 ERA, and this year he was actually 15-6 with a 3.1 ERA. So his control got better, his command got better. Very good strikeout walk ratio compared to his last 3 years in the majors, and he was just been outstanding the way he has been. So Mitch Keller, great comeback year, especially with the young Pirates team. Number two, I got Ozzy Albies. After the injury last year, it took him out the rest of the season. We all knew he was going to come back looking stronger than ever. His speed was just a little bit lackluster, which is sad. But the Braves still have a lot of speed without Albies, so that kind of helps out. And number one, I got Blake Snell. I mean, Snell just had a tremendous year for a pitcher, and he came back to his Tampa Bay roots and just really let out the heat with that fastball. And his fastball is one of the best fastballs in the business. Everyone forgets how great he utilized it with the Rays playoff run when he was a rookie. So Snell, to me, is number one comeback.
All right, comeback players of the year. I got Snell at 3. Great year. Great way to finish and start and finish the season. Number 2, I got Max Fried.
Okay.
Just came back from injury, done well. It was like 8-1 in the regular season, I think. And then for Cody Bellinger is probably the comeback player of the year for me. Just what he did out of Los Angeles and the Cubs and rejuvenated that Cubs franchise in that season. Great signing. Hopefully they can keep him. I think he'd be great in Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think he needs to go back to L.A. Definitely doesn't need to sign with a team that has Justin Turner on it, so he doesn't hurt his arm again trying to give a high five. But yeah, I give it to Bellinger, even though I can see any of those guys definitely get it because all those guys had good years. I think I agree with you on your AL. So
All three on AL?
Yep.
Or just number one?
Oh,
God. Okay. Shoot. Number 3, I got Brent Rooker for the A's. Just a tremendous Mississippi boy from that has done well from his Twins to the A's transition. Everyone thought he would not lose so much power when he moved. Would be a little bit like pessimistic of being with the A's because of what the Twins and the A's did during the trade. But Rooker really became a star player with that team for what he's done. I mean, over 30 home runs, close to 100 RBIs, a pretty high 200s batting average. Just really good year from his rookie year to his sophomore year. So best sophomore transition I've seen out of a baseball player in a long time. 2, Corey Seager. I mean, just the way his power got back, being a Ranger, being surrounded by teammates that allowed him to get confidence back. Just the way he showed so much more patience at the plate compared to his strikeout rate last year, just tremendous. And number 1, I got Sonny Gray. Even though he was at 500 this year, at being 8-8, he still had a low 3 ERA. Really took command and actually struck out what he needed to do. His breaking ball actually got hit that break back. One of the best sinker ball pitchers I've seen in a minute. His sinker is highly underestimated, and that's why he gets a lot of strikeouts with that pitch. I loved him since he was an A. Loved him when he was a Yankee, but he needed to get out of the Yankees just so he could get so much of that pressure off his back. And with him being back in the playoffs, I mean,
don't forget that was red.
Oh yeah, sorry. He was the Red, yes, because it was A's, Yankees, Reds, Twins. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I got Rooker, great young talent, got great power. Seager, yeah, couldn't agree more. And I agree with you. Even though Gray was 8-8, he still was one of the top pitchers for the Twins. Kept them in a lot of ball games. Very great. I mean, if he could get some runs, he would have more than 8 wins, obviously.
Should have at least had 13.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think those I agree with those, and we're ready for our
NL and AL
okay
all team.
Yeah, let's see who we all agree or disagree with.
All right.
All right, let's go on American League or National League first.
Let's do American League since you got on your left side. You want to start off this one?
Yeah, I'll start with it. I'm going with Kyle Raleigh of the Mariners. Switches in catcher. Hit over 20 home runs again. One of the few catchers to do it in multiple seasons.
First player to hit a home run on both sides of the plate at Fenway Park.
Yep. So I'm putting him as my catcher.
I got Adley Rushman for Baltimore. Higher average batting average compared to all AL catchers. 20 home runs, multiple RBIs. I had was just shy of 3 compared to Cal, and he also had a little bit more walks than Cal did. I mean, can't disrespect Cal. I love Cal Raleigh. I just couldn't give it to him because of the batting average. But Adley, I definitely had a good year.
Yeah, American League first baseman. Vlad Guerrero Jr. Sorry, not senior. Junior. Yeah, his batting average was down. He didn't get 100 RBIs. He got like 94. Still had a pretty good OPS. It wasn't a typical Guerrero year, but things up and flow. But for first baseman, he didn't have a bad season.
For me, I'm going with Yandy Diaz for Tampa Bay. To me, the Tampa Bay Ray franchise player of the year. Although you can also get Randy Rosarena, but Yandy just had a great statistics for first baseman. Led in most of the categories actually in first base. Players of all AL, just tremendous year. Second base, I think we both agree.
Yeah, I put Marcus Semien.
No, I put Marcus Semien
Yeah,
as well.
yeah. I mean, there's nothing else to say. I mean, he played 162 games, was top in hits. He was in a lot of top 10 in a lot of offensive categories. Yeah, I can't disagree with you on that one. How about third base?
No, you mean shortstop?
We can go shortstop.
No, did we both get it, Corey?
Yeah, Corey Seager.
Yeah.
We agreed on Corey Seager, so Corey, of course, no one needs to doubt what Corey did the whole year. So
Third base is where we disagree a little bit. I mean, I almost went with your guy. So 3, I got Rafael Devers, just the Red Sox player, the franchise player. Did what he needed to do when it comes to the statistics. Few categories he did not lead with, but he was top 5 and most of them in the AL. Just great year, and honestly, typical numbers of what that you've seen from him since his rookie year. So
yeah, I put Gunnar Henderson from the Orioles. Just came out swinging. Could have put some other people, but I put Gunnar.
all right, our outfielders, and I went with the game logic and where you can just go ahead and just flip everyone.
That's fine.
Left center, right center,
Yeah.
center field. So I'll just name them real quick. Aaron Judge, of course, power hitter. Great year other than the time when he got hurt, was out for basically a month. Still had high numbers. Julio Rodriguez, great defensive glove. Did what he needed to do. And then the one that had the least batting average on my list compared to both lists, actually, Adolis Garcia. Garcia has just been a player that needed to be the player he is on the spot, especially when it comes to walk-offs. I mean, he had the most walk-offs out of anyone this whole season with his batting average, and he's just a force to be reckoned when he's facing any pitcher on that.
Yeah, and plus he had 100 RBIs, had over 30 home runs.
Yep.
So yeah, I got Quan from the Guardians.
Oh yeah.
I mean, good leadoff, good ball strike hitter. I mean, his numbers. I mean, he's more like a Brett Butler type player. Doesn't hit for a lot of power, but he does a lot of stuff well. So I put him as a guy. I think the Guardians needed at least have one, and it was either choosing him or J Ram, but I went with Quan. Luis Roberts from the White Sox, probably the only bright spot for the White Sox this whole year. Could have put other people in there, but I agree with Garcia. I think Garcia's excellent pick. Who do you get for DH?
DH, I put Yordan Alvarez.
I agree with you on that one.
Just when it comes to being the DH position, The only player that I had him beat was Shohei, and I guess Shohei is somewhere else on this list. So, but Jordan's numbers being a DH, just outstanding. 30 plus home runs, 100 plus RBIs. Only thing he needs to worry about is his batting average and his strikeouts.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with you on that. Our right-handed starting pitcher, I got Garrett Cole for the Yankees.
I can't disagree with that. I put Shohei just because of how much dominance that he always has on the dang plate.
Yeah, I mean, I understand where you definitely will put Shohei somewhere on the list, either pitcher or DH. So, and you put an extra bat in there. So, hey, that's not a bad idea. How about your left-handed starter?
Even though he got hurt, I still got Shane McCallaghan. He still had the best ERA out of left-handed pitchers. He just had
was what 11-2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you on left-handed pitcher for sure. McCallaghan easily. What about right-handed relief? What about relief closer?
Closer, I got Emmanuel Clase for Cleveland. He had the most saves. I mean, his ERA was above 3, but no one even touches his saves. I mean, Clase just has that dominance when it comes to it.
I went with another guy that got injured and would have probably blown some records out of water if he wouldn't have been. I went with Batista from Baltimore. I thought he had a great year.
Oh, yeah.
If he wouldn't have got hurt, I mean, that kind of hurt the Orioles in the playoffs. Not having, I think they'll go after some more closers. So let's go to the NL. What do you got?
NL, I think catcher, we did agree. We went with William Contreras for Milwaukee.
Yep.
Just compared to catcher numbers, the only person that came close to him was Sean Murphy, and I have 3. We both had 3. I got 3 Braves on here. How many did you have?
6.
6. Okay. I tried to be objective, and I wasn't trying to full Braves arsenal. But Contreras, I did had 18 home runs. He had above 70 RBIs. I had a good high batting average in the 280s.
He had a great second half.
Oh yeah.
His first half, he was almost not with St. Louis, and then just came alive. So yeah, I mean,
you mean his brother's in St. Louis?
Oh, is this the Milwaukee one?
Yeah, William.
Oh, I won't. Oh yeah. You're right. I'm sorry. The Milwaukee catcher. I'm sorry. I put the wrong team. So yeah.
I mean, you're not wrong. Wilson did slow, but William was consistent.
Yeah. All right. First base. I got Olsen from the Braves.
I went with the former Brave again.
Easily.
Freddie Freeman. 59 doubles, led first baseman and doubles, and actually was top 3 in doubles as well. High batting average, always hits for contact, and when he needs to show off that power, he shows it off. I mean, can't disagree with Matt Olson having the most home runs, but when it comes to overall statistics, Freeman is my guy.
Second base, I got Ozzie Albies from Atlanta.
I went with the guy with the highest batting average, Luis Arias from Miami.
Yeah, I mean, you could, definitely you could see that. Third base, I went with Alex Riley.
I would go with Riley, but I liked Nolan Arenado's a little bit more.
Yeah, I tried to go with Nolan or Machado over Riley, but Riley's average was higher at 281. So
it was.
That was the only reason why I went with Riley.
No, I mean, I don't blame you. I don't. Shortstop,
I went with Lindor from the Mets.
I couldn't give it to Lindor. I went with Orlando Arcia just because of how much more impact he did in the games. He was a very impactful player in Braves, especially when it came to extra innings.
Okay, my outfield, lowest batting average out of any of the teams that I picked Kyle Schwarber. It's hard to beat a guy, even though he's hitting 181 with an 800 OPS. So,
he hits when people are on base, at least.
Yep. I mean, he does lead the game off as a leadoff hitter at 181, probably the lowest of all time. Then I went with Corbin Carroll for the D-backs, and then I went with Cunha from the Braves, of course.
All right. I wanted to put Carroll on this list. I do, but I went with Acuna, of course. I went with Nolan Jones. Nolan actually had a better fielding percentage than Carroll did. So defensively, I went with Nolan. Carroll had the numbers offensively, especially steals. But Nolan's impact with the Rockies had to be shown, and I wanted to put a Rocky on this list. And my last one was Cody Bellinger for Chicago, just the way he did this year, and just unbelievable. DH.
I got Marcell Ozuna from the Braves.
Can't disagree with Zuna, but I had to go with J.D. Martinez from the Dodgers. Just
Good choice.
Overall numbers are just outstanding compared to other DHs.
Okay, right-hand start pitcher, I went with the strikeout king this year.
And
With Strider.
I went with Strider as well with right-handed pitchers. Only thing, like we said earlier, is his ERA. Other than that, outstanding. And left-handed?
Left-handed, I went with Justice Steele of the Cubs.
And I went with Blake Snell for San Diego. I mean,
Couldn't go wrong with either one.
Yep. And with closer pitchers, we actually disagreed on closers. I went with David Bednar for Pittsburgh. Flat 2 ERA with 39 saves. Was the leader in saves in the NL, but the guy with the best ERA comes from.
Yeah, I went with Josh Hader from San Diego. He had a 1.21 ERA. Great team, great play. So, yeah. I mean, we agreed on 5 in the American League and 3 in the National League. So, I mean, we both did it from different points of view, I think.
Yeah,
so.
we did. And it's not like we disagreed with our picks. We understood why we chose them.
Yeah.
And, I mean, you can go either or. And I know that they sometimes do like a bench, almost just like how they do with the All-Star game.
Well, they also do a second team, too. So, some of our first and second players probably would have been on our second team. So, yeah, I mean, the only thing else to add is that a great Hall of Fame middle linebacker of all time passed away last week from the good old Chicago Bears. Also played for the Illini of Illinois, number 51, and did Butkus. Great feared linebacker, one of the greatest players in NFL history. Archie Manning will tell you that he was the most scared when he was on the field with this man. So, great career, great life. Thinking about you, and I'll turn it over to Collectible Chris.
To all Dallas Cowboy fans, take notes from this man. This man flat out said the Niners will win. He took it gracefully, even though it was annihilation.
Yes, I watched the whole game. Believe me, it was annihilation.
I watched the whole game at Chili's on Sunday night. But a little fun story for everybody to close it off. I wore my Patrick Willis 49er jersey at the shop I work at on Saturday. Being in this part of Mississippi, the biggest fan base is Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys surpassed the Saints 2 years ago. We own a lot of Saints and Cowboys stuff that can contest to that. I sold 20 items worth of Cowboy stuff. I sold 4 Cowboy jerseys. I literally had a customer put on stuff on the counter for me to scan while insulting my team. I took it to a grain of salt, and every single time he said something, I had a little smart thing to say back. It was all in good fun. It was. Saturday was actually a good day for me at the shop. One guy even bought a polo and a jacket. At the same time, spent over $100 just on Cowboy stuff. Anytime Cowboys are facing a West Coast team now, I will need a jersey. Do you have a Chargers jersey, by the way?
No, I don't.
Dang. Mom said you would. Okay. But
I don't have a Tomlinson. I'm surprised you don't.
Yeah, I don't. I wanted one when I was younger. I still don't have one. It's okay, though. But everyone that is trying... I understand it's football season. We are very enthusiastic about our teams. But at the same time, please have logic. I know that's hard. This man's a passionate Cowboy fan. I didn't make fun of his Cowboys. I made fun of someone else's idea with the Cowboys because I won a bet. Roderick, I appreciate the cards. Thank you. But Dick Buckus is definitely one of the greatest linebackers of all time. I really wish I was watching his era just to see how rough he was. And every older player says that he was one of the roughest. Probably not as rough as Lawrence Taylor was, but I can understand it. Just great Chicago legends that he did not win a Super Bowl either, did
You might have had championships, but
he? The championships, but when the merger happened,
no,
that's right.
he never won a Super Bowl.
But I mean, a lot of people have been slipping away this year, unfortunately. A lot of I think it's been what 4 straight weeks since we've lost players, wrestlers. I mean, anyone that's been very influential, really. But yeah, it's still the heart of football season with the playoffs looming. We're almost at the halfway point, and I think our halfway show is going to be coming up soon, huh?
Yep.
And
Between weeks 8 and 9, I think.
yeah, that's right. And we're at week 6 now with the
Yep.
NFL. But for everybody that's looking at the MLB playoffs, I am supporting my Braves. Phillies might beat them. It's fine. Rangers win. I won't mind. We went to several Rangers games. Enjoyed it. So I will not be sad if the Rangers all went in and won. I think I'm good now.
All right. Everybody, this is Card Guy Chris Ellis,
But collectible Chris.
and we'll be talking to you later.